I had to laugh, by the way, at the ABC's Ombudsman, the woman who checks your complaints when you say, oh, look, the ABC is as biased as all get out. It's meant to be impartial, but look at what it's doing. Now, this Ombudsman, Fiona Cameron, said yesterday she'd got lots of complaints from listeners or viewers, maybe some of you, that it was biased in its coverage of The Voice. But don't you worry about that.
92% of them are saying that they believe that the ABC is in some fashion biased with reference to The Voice. In these cases, I haven't found specific instances of bias.
No, of course, it didn't find not one instance of bias. When did the ABC ever agree to bias? I mean, joining me on Newswatch is Sophie Ellsworth of The Australian. Sophie, no bias, says the ABC's Ombudsman. 100 complaints or so, no bias. How credible is that?
Well, Andrew, this is interesting because Fiona Cameron was appointed to this role as the ABC's first ombudsman in September last year. So this is her first report that she's handed down. It's really interesting to see that she found no cases of bias. What we don't know is what those complaints were actually about relating to The Voice. We don't have the snippets or the grievances that people made. But I consume a lot of ABCs. I know that you do too, Andrew, and it's never in favour of the no side. It's always, if it is leaning one way, it's always on the yes side, I would argue.
Oh, without a doubt about that, Sophie. It's incredible. I mean, you I listened to yesterday to the day before to Patricia Karvelis, who's a notorious, booster of the Yes campaign, being so short and cold to someone who's for the No campaign, but then when someone like Noel Pearson comes on to slag off at the opposition leader Peter Dutton or Jacinta Nampijinpa Price, No campaigners, uninterrupted, they can say what they damn well like, not a question, not a reservation.
Well, it does them no favours, Andrew, when people can see straight through this. And you only have to look at the coverage on the ABC of the Voice referendum. They are covering this day and night. There's programs. There's so much content about this. I can't find anyone who's a broadcaster or a journalist at the ABC that seems to be opposed to it. You would argue, and I would argue, I should say, many of them seem to be championing the yes vote. They're careful in their words. They know they need to be careful. But it's pretty obvious, I would have thought, Andrew.
Oh, look, Sophie, of course it is, but not to the Ombudsman.